The symbol. It's the same as on my medal.
Yeah. That's what I wanted to show you. Do you understand any of this?
No. And what is this?
No idea. There's no button, no lever, nothing. Whoa. What did you do?
Nothing. I just waved my medal and
Are you telling me that your medal is actually some kind of key?
I have no idea. But in any case, it's open. So are we gonna check out the other side?
Of course. Unless you have a better idea. Okay, then. These buildings are a lot more sinister than the others. Do you think that's the experimental plant my mom mentioned?
Very likely so.
Which blew everything up. It doesn't look so big.
I'm guessing it goes deep, though.
I don't understand. How could such a small drill cause an entire planet to explode?
I guess it acted as a catalyst.
Sorry, I still don't understand.
I'm not sure I understand it either. At best, I have a hypothesis. Whatever that's worth.
Please, tell me.
Okay, so, you know how the planets are set up, kind of?
A big flow core with crust all around it.
That's right. Irena said the plant was sourcing flow directly at the core, and that it was condensing into a solid state to facilitate transport.
So that would be the rust.
No. Actually, I'm thinking of something else. Whatever it was, something went wrong. And instead of condensing normally, the flow degraded into rust. And this degradation would have propagated along the drill path and into the core.
Okay, there's no need to use air quotes every time.
Sorry.
So then?
Well, kind of like water and ice, if you will. The rust occupied more space than flow. When the flow core turned into rust, it expanded against the crust all around it, which ended up cracking. Kind of like leaving a bottle in the freezer for too long.
And the rust leaked out of the cracks.
I guess so. Otherwise, it came out of geysers, volcanoes, whatever.
Okay. That makes sense. Which leads me to my second question. Why do you have the key to this thing around your neck?
If I knew.
What was that you picked up?
I'm trying to figure it out. It looks like rust, but it's a lot heavier and slicker.
Let me see. Hey, it's kind of warm, too.
Weird, huh?
Do you think that's what they were making here? The, ultra-concentrated flow thing?
Yes, possibly. I'd need some time to analyze it in the nest.
So, is this rust or is this not rust?
Depends on how you define rust.
A kind of ruddy substance that dissolves in flow?
Then it's not rust. It has the same components, but no matter how much flow I throw at it, it won't budge. On the contrary, flow seems to evaporate when they come into contact.
Evaporate?
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word. It's absorbed, consumed? I mean it disappears.
Oh yeah. Then it's like hyperrust.
If you will.
So, to summarize, hyperrust dissolves flow, which dissolves rust. Maybe rust dissolves hyperrust. That would be like rock, paper, scissors.
No, rust and hyperrust, as you call it, have no effect upon one another.
Too bad. I really like rock, paper, scissors. I win every time.
I know. And I still don't understand how you do it. It's statistically impossible.
If you think rock, paper, scissors has to do with statistics, you have really missed the point of rock, paper, scissors.
One day I will uncover this mystery.
All in due time. First, hyperrust. Then rock, paper, scissors.
I guess we must be pretty close to the origin of the flow bridge. I've never seen it look so impressive.
Please, enough with this bridge. I mean, it is the entire reason why we are having problems. Ozius, the drones.
But the bridge is also the reason why we're here.
I know. But like, what if only we were able to use it? Maybe it could work just for us and no one else. I'm just asking for one little change in the universal laws of physics. Is that too much?
It could work.
What? Changing the universal laws of physics?
No. I mean, if this bridge weren't here, we'd be completely cut off from the other planets in the Apiary. No one could come and get us.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, you don't understand. We could sever the flow bridge.
Are you serious right now?
Why not? A flow bridge is only a big bunch of flow threads woven together. If we can absorb a flow thread, maybe we could...
Are you even listening to yourself? There's not a big bunch of flow threads. There are millions of them.
Oh, all right. A very big bunch.
Maybe we could use the hyperrust.
I see where you're going with that, but how would you do it? We can't exactly throw the hyperrust into a bag and wait for it to start sucking stuff in. Best case scenario, it would cut off a few flow threads on its way, and the bridges would come right back together.
But then we could grab the flow.
What?
With our gloves, our boots. Aren't we grabbing flow?
Sure, but nowhere near that amount.
Because the batteries are capped. But let's say I stick a bit of hyperrust on the glove circuits, where the batteries are, for example. They would absorb the flow, which would collide with the hyperrust, which would evaporate or whatever. Let's say I remove the safety on the gloves so they could absorb several threads at a time. It would take a while, but it could take care of the whole bridge.
And you could do that?
If we had enough hyperrust. I think so.
Then let's get to work.
Is that a ship?
It used to be. Swarm 800. Class A liner ship. The kind we use to settle new colonies. Probably the kind we use to evacuate them as well.
And, how many people can you fit on a Swarm 800 exactly?
I'm not sure you really want to know.
You okay?
Yeah. I just need to get used to the thought that my mom has hundreds of deaths on her conscience.
Wanna take a break?
No. Right now, I just really want to sever this bloating flow bridge.
Then let's go. Another building destroyed by hyperrust.
I'm sure it was asking for it. I'm kind of wondering why they built this way up here. Okay, the scenery is nice, but feels counterproductive. To extract flow from the ground, you should be near the ground, right?
I don't think this one was extracting anything at all. I think flow was coming from below through this pipe. They were likely just condensing it here.
But why so high? It's almost like they were aware it was dangerous, that it could blow up at any moment. Wait. Do you think they knew?
I don't know. Maybe that's exactly what they wanted to figure out. This construction does look a lot more basic than the main plants. Could have been some sort of prototype.
And they thought, okay, cool, we just blew everything up, let's try again, but bigger.
It was just a thought.
I didn't mean that against you. I'm just bothered by the fact that it may be entirely possible. So?
I only managed to sample a tiny bit of it, but it's definitely hyperrust.
Perfect. Exonova's negligence might actually serve a purpose. Well, here goes nothing.
Do you think it'll work?
Oh, it works. But will it work the way that we want it to? Which means 1, long enough to consume an entire flow bridge, and 2, that it won't blow up in our faces when the hyperrust reaches capacity. I have no idea. I can't really do a full-scale test.
So after all this, can we still store the flow?
Of course. I just added an alternative circuit with hyperrust. We'll just need to switch it when we need to sever the bridge. And it'll work just like the flow bursts.
Severing the flow bridge. That also means cutting off our way home. Even our way out of source.
Yeah,
Is that really what we want?
I don't know. What are our other options? That's what I thought.